I'm Evan LeRoy, and this is New School Barbecue. LeRoy and Lewis Barbecue is a little blue food truck off South Congress in Austin, Texas that cooks locally sourced barbecue on homemade pits. We try our best to honor where barbecue comes from while respectfully adding our own modern touches. These are our recipes, methods, travels, and stories. This is New School Barbecue. What's up, barbecue fans? Evan LeRoy here. It is July and it is hot as hell out here. We're in the dog days of summer. It slows down a lot for us in the summertime. We are, after all, in a food truck, hot outside in Texas when you're standing in line for barbecue. First summer at LeRoy and Lewis, Cosmic was not open. We had no AC in the truck, no shade, no water, no bathrooms, no guests. So we're just sitting in this empty parking lot all summer, sweating our butts off. Also that summer I was watching an Anthony Bourdain episode where he's with a guest in India and they're saying the reason they eat spicy food in hot climates is so they sweat and that cools people off. So that kind of lit up a light bulb in my head and we dreamed up this idea to get people to come to the food truck every day for an entire week during the hottest, slowest time of the entire year. It's called Heat Week. 1 week, 5 different specials, 1 each day of service, increasing in spice level day to day. We started doing Heat Week our second summer in service, and it's been our big summer tradition every year. We've even had a handful of people come out year after year and do every single Heat Week dish every year throughout our 5 years of service. Make sure to check out this year's Heat Week at LeRoy and Lewis, running July 27th through 31st, and stay tuned here all this month for more spicy Heat Week videos. So our first Heat Week video, this is our HEATBALL sub. It's a hot meatball sub. Every year in Heat Week, we try to layer spice. So take, for example, the Heat Week meatball, the HEATBALL sub. We're doing spiciness in the meatball itself, in the sauce that the meatballs are cooking in, and then in the toppings to the HEATBALL sub. So all as much as we can get spice level in there. And it's personally one of my favorite Heat Week dishes of all time. Go ahead and like this video if you think we should do more home-style Italian barbecue crossovers. This was one of the first videos we made for a special, so I can't quite say that anything we would do different in our current preparation because we don't currently prepare this dish. We do, however, prepare meatballs, just not a spicy, crazy spicy version of them. We do similar preparation with the breadcrumbs, the eggs, the beef cheek meat, kind of double grinding, doing that, and then the smoke, and then braise. So all that stuff is pretty much the same. And beef cheeks are honestly such a good meatball meat because they have enough fat in them to kind of moisturize all that breadcrumb in there. Gives it a great texture. Also, all the collagen in the beef cheek, when you braise it, seeps into that sauce and just makes that tomato sauce super unctuous and succulent and delicious. Beef cheeks, excellent meatball meat, in my opinion, if you braise them long enough to release all that magic. Enjoy the video, go make some spicy meatballs, enjoy your Heat Week, and stay cool this summer, barbecue fans. See you next week.
Non più tra I farfalloni amoroso, notte giorno di torno girano.
It is getting really hot outside, and you all know what that means. It is Heat Week. It's gonna be the spiciest one yet. We're starting this year with a little spicy meatball, an Italian meatball sub. We got habaneros going into the meatball. We got habanero powder. We got crushed red pepper flakes. We got sliced habaneros with some pepperoncinis going on top. It's gonna be extremely spicy. It's gonna burn your butt out. And we're gonna teach you how to do every single thing this year for Heat Week. So let's go. So we're making meatballs. They're gonna be spicy as hell, but we are just gonna go over the basic idea of making these meatballs to begin with. So this is barbacoa meat, barbacoa scraps to us. This is beef cheek meat. It's really ugly stuff. It's got a lot of sinew, a lot of just weird stuff in there. It's like a lot of just gross meat. And part of the entire reason we came up with this and this method of making meatballs is because it's really hard to use this meat. When we trim the beef cheek, you can go and watch our videos about that, and the barbacoa, you can see that there's about double the amount of barbacoa as there is to beef cheek. So sometimes we have an excess or surplus of barbacoa. We have to find out what to do with this meat, and this is something that we've done in the past to just use up extra scraps. Keep in mind, other barbecue restaurants can just do this with brisket or something else, but we like to do it with the barbacoa and the cheek meat scraps because they're gonna get ground, they're gonna get smoked, and then they're gonna get braised in a marinara sauce or a red sauce. That sauce is gonna develop all the collagen, it's gonna turn all the collagen into gelatin in the cheeks, and it's gonna make it super, super unctuous. The cheeks are gonna be tender, they're gonna have that lip smackiness that you get when you eat barbacoa. So here we go. So we're going to grind all this stuff through the big die first, then we're gonna mix in all of our spices, all of our breadcrumbs and eggs and all of our binders and stuff like that. Then we're gonna grind it again through the small die to get that nice consistency that we want, and then we're gonna mix it really well until it gets the tackiness that we want. We don't really need to worry that much about the meat to fat ratio right now. This is very fatty barbacoa. It might even be as much as like 60-40, but we're gonna put a lot of breadcrumbs in here and a lot of eggs, and that's gonna act as a binder. And if any fat does leach out of the meatballs, it's gonna leach into our sauce and just make it that much more unctuous and delicious. So we're taking these nice fruity habaneros and going to mandolin them. And then we're gonna mix them with some pepperoncinis in their own kind of juices. And it's gonna be just like a hot, extremely spicy little topping to our meatball sub. Gonna run them on the mandolin. Be careful, save your fingers here, folks. We're also gonna take all the tops and grind that into the meatballs, because we're psycho like that. Sliced golden pepperoncinis, and just empty these out, and then we're gonna stuff them back into a couple quart containers and just have these marinate a couple weeks. So this is like the first week in July. We're going to marinate all these until Heat Week, which is the last week in July. Oh my God. We got all of our meatball ingredients here already meased out. We have the tops to our habaneros. We've got some dry toasted fennel seed. I've got a bunch of breadcrumbs here. I think 460 grams. We're not gonna use all this habanero powder, just a little bit of it. Extremely spicy. We are gonna use a little bit of this crushed red pepper, some whole garlic cloves we're gonna grind through. Italian herb blend, this is basil, oregano, and parsley. These are some blended eggs, 15 of them please, and some kosher salt. We're all just gonna go in with this stuff. This is 20 pounds of meatballs. I'm only gonna add just a tiny bit of this. Oh, oops! Eggs, habanero tops. We're not gonna go too crazy with the habanero powder. Just enough to make it extremely spicy and difficult to eat. Ooh, I'm gonna mix this up by hand. If I get any above the glove here, it's really just gonna screw my entire day up. Second time through, this one's gonna take a little bit longer. Might need to use that plunger, but grind through the small die just to break up all that sinew, all that tissue, and of course grind up all our garlic and habaneros. So we're just mixing everything up right now. It's already pretty tacky because there's a lot of breadcrumbs in here, eggs in here, and binders in here. We're really just making sure everything is incorporated and looking for anything we missed, like that guy. Garlic, habanero powder, crushed red peppers, Italian seasoning, tomato paste and water.
Quella chioma, quell'aria brillante, quel vermiglio d'onesco color, quel vermiglio d'onesco color. Non più avrai quei pennacchini, quel cappello, quella chioma, quell'aria brillante. Non più drai farfalloni amoroso.
We smoked the meatballs this morning. We formed them last night. They had time to set up overnight, uncovered in the walk-in. And this is what they look like after about 3 hours, cooking at about 200 degrees. Taking on a great color. They look great. So the meatballs came off the barbecue pit. They came back here, got put in the red sauce, the marinara, Sunday gravy. They got braised for about 2 to 3 hours. We want to look for about 200 internal. That way we know that all of the collagen has broken down in the liquid in the beef cheek meatball. So they're gonna be super tender, and then all of that stickiness is gonna leach out into the sauce, kind of thicken that and give it that kind of lip smacking goodness as well. For the past 10 or so minutes, we laid a couple slices of provolone cheese on top. It's browned and it's looking delicious. We just barely toasted our little buns here. We toast our buns, now we're gonna burn our buns. Okay, you can see that the cheese is nice and browned that we laid on top. There's a little bit of fat leaching out into this sauce. I think that's a good thing. Ooh, look at that stretch. Think about getting bigger buns for actual Heat Week and then doing like a 4 meatball thing. Okay, we've got the peppercini and habanero mixture. Oh God, that stings. Okay, this is gonna be really hot. We're gonna go on top with it. We're gonna go on a little more on Bradley's here. All right, that's our HEATBALL sub, spicy Sunday gravy. Extremely tasty.
Very good. That meatball is nice and tender.
Heat comes right away. Fast and furious. Oh my God, that is spicy.
Flavors right there. The pepper adds a nice little.
Oh my God, extremely spicy. Owie. Kind of want to go back for another bite. Oh my God. Oh my God, that first one. Not in my ass. I mean, that's probably like a 7 out of 10. What do you think? 6.5, 7, 6 point. Woo!
That's a spicy meatball.